trust you're doing well. I wanted to make this quick video to talk through the final research paper of the class. As you know, if you've perused the syllabus, this paper is equal to 30% of your grade, and I certainly want you to do well. To this end, in addition to the information in the syllabus, I have created a more detailed document simply entitled How to Write the Research Paper for Pentecostal Explorations of the New Testament. So let me encourage you to pull that up, and I just want to walk through the highlights of this document together so that you feel confident developing the paper. Now, there's really good news when it comes to the paper for this class, and that is the structure of the paper is preset. It has been decided for you, and this is not the kind of paper that requires a thesis statement that you argue toward and or defend. In fact, this is the only graduate course that I teach which is not very thesis driven. Now, this is a research heavy paper within reason. But it really is not difficult to write, again, because the structure is preset. So as you can see, number one, you can see the due date there at the top this term, and then you can see an overview which walks through the six parts of the paper structurally speaking. These are more fleshed out, by the way, under step 3. But what we're doing is taking Dr. Thomas's rubric for studying the scriptures as Pentecostals, choosing a book of the New Testament, and then just attacking that rubric. So you'll do a segment on the structure of your book, the theological emphases of your book, the historical background, historical concerns of your book, the canonical context, the church context, and the Pentecostal context of your book. To be clear, you can choose any book of the New Testament, including one of the smaller letters if you're drawn to those. So don't feel the need to necessarily attack a Romans or a Revelation or a Gospel. However, I also don't want you to be intimidated by the longer books. Where you feel a twinge of passion, that's where you always ought to be writing in PTS courses. So the entire thing is fair game. You can see in the second Roman numeral there are some structural specifications that are absolutely standard for research or for graduate level writing. Then in segment 3, you will see the specifications for research materials. Again, in the same way that the structure of the paper is preset, so are the specifications for the research materials. That's because for some of us, this is one of our first classes at the seminary, and we want to get you really comfortable engaging diverse sources. So this paper is going to require 15 scholarly sources, and those 15 should break down like this: 5 commentaries, 5 books, or what we call monographs, and 5 scholarly journal articles. I'm actually going to send a separate video that will walk you through how to download these scholarly journal articles from the Lee University Library, which you have free access to through your PTS account. It's a wonderful tool that can just give you a wealth of knowledge. I use it not only for writing but for preaching on a regular basis. Note also what types of materials are excluded from the paper, things like websites. This is not an approved source, or lexicons, study Bibles. You might use a lexicon or concordance, certainly, but they do not represent one of your bibliographic sources. And after that, I've got a few notes here on the research and writing process. From understanding the nature of a research paper to choosing your book, compiling your sources, categorizing your research, and finally, the writing. You've noticed that I've included a section here on common mistakes to avoid, both grammatically and thematically, some stuff on footnotes, and some material on paper format. Now, another great gift that you have as a student at the seminary is a free writing lab. So if it's been a while since you've written a paper, or maybe you're not incredibly confident with perfecting your grammar and syntax, tense, etc., feel free to make use of the writing lab. They go over papers for free, give you feedback, and help shape it up for you. So I do hope that you'll take advantage of that. I'm certainly here for you if I can be of any help along the process. Please don't hesitate to email or call. Thanks. God bless.